Okay, bitches, welcome back to Miklo's Man Channel with your homeboy here. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. Me and the homeboys have decided we are going to do this challenge where we post a new video every week and there'll be a different theme voted on. And my video today is going to be my top 10 favorite zombie movies of all time. Okay, so at number 10, we're going to have Shaun of the Dead, released in 2004, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I really like this movie. This was really the first time they really spoofed the whole zombie genre in the likings of like the Wayans brothers did with like Scary Movie and the Hood movies and whatnot. So it was the first really to kind of like spoof on the genre. They had a lot of good use of continuing their jokes throughout the movie, but some of them drag out a little too long, but it still holds up today. So that's why it's at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Zombie Strippers, released in 2008. It was directed by Jay Lee, and it stars Jenna Jameson, Robert Englund, and Tito Ortiz. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for when it comes to this kind of film. It's tits and zombies. And it has Freddy fucking Krueger in it. There's no way it could go wrong. Fun fact, this movie came in under budget and only cost a little less than $1 million to make. It's corny, it's campy, it's B-movie madness for sure, but it's definitely worth a watch. Alright, so coming in at number 8 is going to be Army of the Dead, released in 2021. Directed by Zack Snyder. This guy has directed all the hits. 300, Justice League, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I mean, the resume speaks for itself. Starring Dave Bautista and Omari Hardwick. This movie has tons of action. The evolving zombies. The good plot twist. It's got a lot of good going on for it. Well, one thing I really wasn't feeling too much was the fucking tigers. I mean, come on, it's a zombie movie. Do you really need fucking tigers? So that's why it ends up at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is going to be The Crazies from 2010. It was directed by Breck Eisner, starring Timothy Olyphant and Radha Mitchell. It's the remake of a 1972 George A. Romero film. It's a good film. It's got a lot of darkness, dark undertones, and, you know, it's very suspenseful. And, you know, some people might not consider this a zombie movie, but this is my list and my video, so if you don't like it, fuck you. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Ghost of Mars, released in 2001. This movie was directed by John Carpenter. Everybody knows who the fuck John Carpenter is. He's an absolute horror icon. Responsible for the Halloween movies, They Live, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York and L.A. I mean, John Carpenter is the motherfucking man. This movie stars Ice Cube, a young Jason Statham, Natasha Henstridge, and Pamela Grier. Now, this movie is super gory. It's got dope special effects, and Ice Cube was a complete and utter fucking badass in this movie. Even if you don't like Cube, you gotta love this movie. Only problem I have with the movie is that the backstory on Cube's character was really weak. They didn't really dive deep into it, but when you only have so much time to make a movie, there's some things you're gonna have to cut out. Alright, now for number 5, we have Land of the Dead, released in 2005. This was actually directed by George A. Romero, and this guy, again, another fucking icon when it comes. He basically invented the zombie genre. The original Dawns of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead, the original The Crazies. This movie stars Simon Baker, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. Now, I just love John Leguizamo. This fucking guy cracks me up no matter what he does. I've always enjoyed his acting. He's good in everything he does. And Dennis Hopper plays one of the best fucking villains anybody has ever played, ever. It's got a good premise of this isolation, you know, up in this tower, like kind of on this small island. And, you know, they still have, like, the rich and the poor, you know, so... And the zombies in this movie are starting to get smarter. They're starting to recognize things. The only problem I really had with the movie is that the ending kind of sucked. I really think they were setting it up for another one, but that hasn't happened yet. And, you know, it's been a hot minute, so I wouldn't expect it anyway. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Zombieland, released in 2009. The movie was directed by Ruben Fleischer, and he's directed a lot of other movies. He directed the second one. He directed the Venom movies, the new Uncharted film. This movie stars Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson. I fucking love Woody. No homo. I mean, everything about this movie is awesome. From the opening with Metallica, you know, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I love the funny parts with the whole rules for surviving Zombieland. Rule number 1 is cardio. The fatties get eaten first. And Woody Harrelson's quest for fucking Twinkies. is, just awesome, But the one thing I didn't like about the movie, which really kind of, broke my heart a little bit, unfortunately, is they shot Bill fucking Murray. I mean, yeah, of course he wasn't going to be in the sequel, but they fucking killed Bill Murray. Not too happy about that, guys. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Resident Evil, released in 2002. It was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and this man has a great catalog of movies. He directed the original Mortal Kombat, Death Race, the remake with Jason Statham, Alien vs. Predator. This movie stars Mila Jovovich, who is the wife of Paul W.S. Anderson, and Michelle Rodriguez. Now, I'm a huge fan of the games, and I always was, and coming into this movie, I expected it to be like the games, but it wasn't. But I still wasn't disappointed. I found it great. It had great special effects. I love the premise of being underground and really having, nowhere to go. The one thing that people do complain about with this movie is the fact that it didn't stay true to the games itself. Coming in at number 2 was going to be Night of the Creeps, released in 1986. I fucking loved this movie when I was growing up. It was directed by Fred Decker, who also directed RoboCop 3 and The Monster Squad, which was another huge, awesome horror hit from the 80s. It stars Jason Lively and Tom Atkins. This thing is a B-movie masterpiece. It does not get more 80s than this movie. It's just an awesome movie. It's super campy, but it's awesome. It's got great comedic moments, a little love story thrown in there. But I mean, just some really gross shit when it comes to the zombies and the premise of the leeches and shit like that. If you have not seen this movie, you better go watch it because it's one of the great films of the 80s. And our number 1 video today is going to be Dawn of the Dead, released in 2004, the remake. This one was directed by Zack Snyder. We already talked about his catalog. It stars Sarah Polley, Ving Rhames, and Mekhi Phifer. I mean, the gore in this movie was just fucking nightmare fuel from the beginning. This movie does not give much of a warm up. It digs deep in your ass as soon as it starts. One of the things I like is the whole struggle for survival. The movie really makes it feel real. Damn, what if he was trapped in a mall, man? But as far as I'm concerned, this is the greatest zombie movie of all time. I mean, as soon as it kicks off with that Disturbed shit, that wow, it gets you going. The whole film is good. The ending is good. I really hope that they get to come back to that one day and then make another one. But that's today's list, and I really hope you guys like the video, like and subscribe, and give me some good views on this one. If you got anything to say about it, this was my personal favorites. I know that there's other movies out there people will find better. We can argue in the comments if you would like. But thanks for watching.